The vision for the Harbor Mixed-Use Transit Corridor Specific Plan, also known as SP2, is a walkable, safe, and attractive environment that allows for new housing and mixed-use development opportunities. The intent is to improve economic vitality, encourage sustainable travel choices, and create a sense of place for the community. Hi, I'm Annie with the Santa Ana Planning and Building Agency, and I'm here to explain the Harbor Mixed-Use Transit Corridor Specific Plan, also known as SP2. Before developing in SP2, you should know the existing conditions of the corridor. SP2 is located on the west side of Santa Ana and covers a 2.5-mile segment of Harbor Boulevard. The approximately 305-acre planning area includes right-of-way streets and parcels along Harbor Boulevard and Westminster Avenue, and it contains about 2 million square feet of commercial uses that include auto services and sales, grocery stores, service businesses, and restaurants. To understand what's allowed in the plan, we start by looking at the SP2 Land Use Plan. It is made up of 4 land use districts. The Transit Node District, which provides standards for high-intensity, transit-supportive mixed-use development with a focus on creating pedestrian activity at the street level. The Corridor District, which is intended to provide housing options and neighborhood-serving uses within walking distance of a transit node. The Neighborhood Transitional District, which is designated for the lowest scale and lowest intensity of uses, acts as a transition between the single-family neighborhoods to the north and south of 1st and 5th Streets and the Corridor and Transit Node districts. And the Open Space District, which identifies areas reserved for community parks and other open spaces. The next step is to review the uses permitted in each district. If a P is shown in the table, it is permitted in that district. If a use is not listed or has an N in the table, it is prohibited. A CUP means that the proposed use requires a conditional use permit. SPR in the table means that the proposed use requires site plan review. Please note that a permitted use does not grant over-the-counter approval. Permitted uses are subject to additional development standards, such as parking, and may necessitate development project review. If you're interested in understanding the planning review process in SP2, this flowchart shows you the steps for a proposed development or proposed business. For example, development plan review will be required for new construction or new uses to a site. Depending on whether the proposed project requires discretionary action or is permitted by right, will determine the approval authority, such as administrative approval through the Planning Division or a public hearing with the Planning Commission. If a permitted use is proposed with no exterior changes to the building, the use may be granted through over-the-counter review. Be sure to contact the Planning Division to verify the review process for your proposed use or development in SP2. For more information about the Development Project Review or Discretionary Action process, please watch our Development Project Review and Discretionary Permits video. Now, let's go over what you should know about building within SP2 and discuss the development standards. The first standard is building type and form. This standard focuses on how big the buildings can be within each district, and the appropriate building type and density ranges based on lot size. For example, certain building types, such as the house or bungalow court, are allowed in the Neighborhood Transitional District, but not within the transit nodes, and these building types have a maximum height of 2 or 3 stories. In the transit nodes, the flex block or stacked dwelling building types can be proposed up to 10 stories high because higher intensity developments are anticipated for this district. The next few standards involve frontage types, floor heights, and building placement. These standards focus on the pedestrian experience and interaction with the building. The frontage types vary from the typical shopfront or arcade design to a front yard porch style. Similar to building type standard, only certain frontage types and floor heights are restricted to certain districts. For example, the minimum floor height for the gallery frontage type is 15 feet and is permitted in the transit node or corridor district. Together with frontage types, building placement regulates the setbacks to streets, parking, and other buildings. For example, Buildings shall not exceed a maximum distance of 8 feet from the public street right-of-way unless the frontage type allows it, such as the front yard porch frontage. The last standards for development are parking and open space. Although the specific plan envisions a mixed-use and transit-supportive corridor and de-emphasizes the role of private vehicles, providing an adequate number of parking spaces are necessary to attract and serve new residents, businesses, employees, and customers. As seen in this table, parking requirements are determined by use and district. For example, in the transit nodes, residential parking is 1.5 spaces per unit, whereas in the neighborhood transitional district, it is 2.25 spaces per unit. In all districts, non-residential or commercial parking is 1 space per 400 square feet. Be sure to also locate parking accordingly. Open space is a key feature in any urban place, offering residents, workers, and visitors places to relax, gather, and exercise. Projects are encouraged to connect proposed open spaces visually and physically to maximize the beauty and utility of open space along the corridor. Open space requirements are based on building type with minimum dimensions for common and private open space areas. For example, the minimum common open space must be 15% of the lot size, and minimum dimensions of 20 feet and 15 feet are required for the lined block building type. After developing your site plan to meet all the development standards, be sure to thoroughly review the SP2 design guidelines. Your architectural plans will need to follow and comply with the design guidelines, which highlight aspects of building design, facades and street walls, open space, circulation and parking, landscaping, signage, and public art. For more details about how to submit for development, please watch Certificate of Occupancy video, Major Modifications video, and Development Project Review video. We hope this video helped explain the Harbor Mixed-Use Transit Corridor Specific Plan. For more information, call 714-647-5804 or visit the Planning Division website at www.santa-ana.org/departments/planning-division and have a wonderful day.